Hello and welcome to today's video. Have you ever wondered about the dark era of the Catholic Church? Well, today we're going to dive into this topic on the Juicy Truth channel. As we discuss this sensitive topic, we must keep in mind that our intention is not to offend anyone, but to learn from history and avoid making the same mistakes. So let's get started. What is the dark era of the Catholic Church? The dark era of the Catholic Church, also known as the medieval period, was a time when the Church had a significant influence over European society. It was a period of great religious fervor and also a time of corruption, immorality, and abuse of power. During this time, the Church was more concerned with gaining wealth and political power than with the spiritual well-being of its followers. Many people were intimidated by the Church and its leaders and felt they had no choice but to obey them. Corruption and immorality. One of the main issues during this period was corruption and immorality within the Church. Many members of the clergy, including popes, bishops, and priests, were guilty of engaging in immoral behavior such as abuse, bribery, and nepotism. One of the most notorious examples of this was the Borgia family, which produced two popes, Alexander VI and his son Caesar. Both were infamous for their immoral behavior. The Crusades. Another dark period in the history of the Catholic Church was the Crusades, a series of military campaigns launched by the Church to retake the Holy Land from the Muslims. The Crusades lasted from the 11th to the 13th centuries and resulted in the deaths of millions of people. While the stated goal of the Crusades was to defend Christianity and reclaim the Holy Land, many historians believe that they were motivated by more worldly concerns, such as gaining wealth and power. The Inquisition. The Inquisition was another dark period in the history of the Catholic Church. It was a series of tribunals established by the Church to root out heresy or beliefs that were considered to be against Church doctrine. The Inquisition was particularly brutal, with many people being tortured and killed for their beliefs. The most famous example of this was the Spanish Inquisition, which lasted from the late 15th to the early 19th centuries and resulted in the deaths of thousands of people. The Reformation. The Reformation was a period of religious upheaval that began in the early 16th century and resulted in the formation of Protestantism. It was a response to the corruption and abuses of power within the Catholic Church, as well as to the Church's failure to address the spiritual needs of its followers. The Reformation was led by figures such as Martin Luther, John Calvin, and Ulrich Zwingli, who challenged the authority of the Church and advocated for a more personal relationship with God. The dark era of the Catholic Church was a period of great turmoil and conflict. It was marked by corruption, immorality, and abuse of power within the Church, as well as by a series of military campaigns and tribunals that resulted in the deaths of thousands of people. However, it's important to remember that not all members of the Church were guilty of these sins, and that many worked tirelessly to promote the spiritual well-being of their followers. As we look back on this dark period in history, let us learn from it and strive to avoid making the same mistakes in the future. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found it informative, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Juicy Truth, for more informative and thought-provoking videos. Before we sign off, we want to leave you with some questions to ponder on. Do you think the Church has done enough to address and make amends for its past wrongdoings? How can we promote transparency and accountability within religious institutions? We believe that having open and honest discussions about these topics can lead to positive change and growth. So let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.